Okay, so in this haul we start off with the Eachine VR 011 goggles. Kind of similar to the EV800s. The front part here separates so you can put it on a tripod. This one does not come with a DVR, but you can see you can add the Eachine Pro DVR to this. So I've got one of these as well, and we'll actually add that. Should be supposed to be pretty easy. So here's just a quick look at the features. It's 5.8 gigahertz, obviously, got an OSD. Here's some other features here. It's on a 2S lipo. It says it's 300 grams. Okay, we got a manual here. Look at that in the review later. Okay, so we got a 2S lipo here, or actually this is lipo or lithium ion. So it's got those 18650 batteries there. Barrel connector. I think it's the same one came with the VRD2 Pros and the goggles too. A couple of linear antennas, battery strap. And it looks like we got a couple of AV in out cables here, different plugs. Looks like a nose pad. Yeah, this looks like it's a little padding for the nose perhaps. This is the charger for the battery. And we got some padding for the face. Looks like you got two different sizes, a thinner one and a thicker one. Obviously that padding will go here and the nose padding goes there. Looks like there's a little bit of film on the Fresnel lens and not adjustable. This looks very, very similar to the EV800s. Dual diversity receivers. Let's see here, you got mode button, minus plus menu, scan, pretty simple interface. I think these are RPSMA antennas. And I think that's the plug-in for the AV in or out, I'm not sure which one. One's AV in, one's AV out. Here's your connector for your battery, tripod, and this obviously pops off like the EV800s. And you can obviously use this standalone as a ground station. So very similar to the EV800s, 800Ds. I think maybe this is where the DVR plugs in. I guess I'll figure that out when I do the review, but it looks pretty, very, very similar, 5-inch screen and all. Okay, so this is the new SpinTech Race 1 frame. Been waiting a little while for this guy, and pretty cool canopy in there. 4mm carbon fiber, so this is pretty much indestructible. Comes with a bunch of 3D printed parts, mounts for the RunCam microswift, etc. So I'll have a build video coming up pretty soon with all of the parts. I'm not exactly sure what I'm putting in it, but it should be the video should be coming out pretty soon. Okay, here's yet another micro drone. It's like it's called the Aurora Transtech 90. Another 90mm micro, I assume. It's kind of in a thin box. Let's see here, is it already built or do I have to build it? Okay, yeah, it's already built. It's such a small box, I wasn't sure if it was a kit or not. This thing's tiny. There it is, and it's got the metal aluminum side plates, all-in-one camera, 4-in-1 ESC. Looks like you got probably an Omnibus F3 flight controller. And you got some SZ Speed 1104 7500 kV motors, just like everything else. This bottom plate looks kind of thin. Oh, that looks really thin. Look at how much this thing bends. So let's see how well this holds up in crashes and in flight. Maybe they did that to reduce the weight. It does feel pretty light. So anyway, I'll have a review video on this pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so we got another toy quadcopter here. It's from Drocon. It's called the Cyclone X708W. And I'm not sure if this has a camera or not. Okay, so here's the drone and the transmitter. I think this is brushed, not brushless. It looks like it runs off of 1S, a little 1S 550 milliamp hour LiPo. Screwdriver and LiPo charger. And it looks like this is a little phone holder. So probably some Wi-Fi FPV on this one. Get some prop guards and spare props. This is a transmitter, node 2, no altitude hold. And that's what the drone looks like. It's pretty good size. I would say 8 inches motor to motor. Little camera here. I have no idea what kind of camera it is. I think it's 720p Wi-Fi. Probably record to your phone like a lot of the other ones. Looks like you got your old battery bay down here. Yeah, battery goes in there. Got some lights underneath. And looks like it's geared brushed. Yeah, the gears are inside here, you can hear them. Pretty light, I'd say less than 25 grams. Yeah, somewhere in that range, so it should be an interesting flyer. I'll have a review on this pretty soon. Okay, so here's an interesting product from Extreme Flyers. It's a company in the UK. They have this thing called the Microdrone 3.0 Plus. This is the combo pack. It's some kind of a brushed micro modular design with a whole bunch of features, FPV, live Wi-Fi streaming. It's got a small gimbal on it. Yeah, a bunch of stuff here. Go ahead, we'll take it out of the box and we'll see what we got. So inside the box we have more boxes. So the small one here is a micro gimbal camera. So it looks like we got your typical micro drone, probably 720p video recording, probably Wi-Fi FPV. Little pins here, I think it's for power. And there's your antenna for your Wi-Fi FPV. And apparently this is controlled by the app, so you can toggle it or rotate it downwards or upwards. So it's a little one-axis gimbal. Okay, this is a smartphone holder. It's probably just goes on top of the transmitter, so nothing special here. Okay, this looks like a cardboard, like VR type goggle. And probably for putting your phone in there. And it just comes like this. Got some focusing lenses. Yeah, kind of reminds me of Google Cardboard. And this is, looks like this is the drone and the transmitter. And here's some of the features that they're listing. Apparently it has return to home function. That's interesting. I don't think it has a GPS, so it's probably not a true return to home function. Okay, so here's the drone itself. Comes in this little cardboard thing and then shows you the different pieces here, your props, which one's the front and the back. So the red's the back, black's in the front. Looks like these little rubber feet come off pretty easily. I think I just popped one of these off somewhere. I'm not sure where exactly, but you should be aware and not lose those. But you can see the design is very modular. I think that these arms pop out pretty easily. And you can swap them out, swap out motors pretty easily. We'll look at all that in the review. And we got some prop guards. And we've got a micro USB cable here, a little short one. And I think the cable is for this charger here, 5 volt, 0.8 amps. And the battery is right here. Looks like it connects via those magnetic connections here, and the battery just slides in and out like that. I think this is actually for the camera gimbal, and the battery connects here to the drone and these little pins. Get some spare props and a prop removable tool. And there's the little foot that came off. It just filled in the bottom of the box. Here's the transmitter. Looks pretty typical. Gimbals feel okay. A little bit better than toy grade. And you got your antenna. No altitude hold here. And you get one user guide. That looks pretty nice. We'll look a little closer at this in the review. So yeah, I'll have a full review on this pretty soon, so stay tuned. Okay, we got another frame here from iFlight RC. This is a micro frame, 2-inch props, and it's a stretch X. You can see here it is longer front to back versus side to side, so it should be an interesting frame with some nice flight characteristics. Got some nice hardware in here. Knurled steel standoffs, anodized steel with some anodized steel screws. I think it's going to look pretty nice once I build it out, so should have a build on this pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so the extra batteries for the SJ-Cam SJ7 Star camera, action camera, has come in, so I'm going to finally get around to doing that review with all the accessories. It's kind of necessary to have extra batteries when you're doing reviews because you just can't get a lot of footage with just one battery, so I'm going to get working on that pretty soon. Okay, we got a bunch of little micro antennas here, 5.8 gigahertz antennas for FPV from this company called Actuna. They're from Poland, and it's a wide variety of antennas in here that they sent. This one has a little micro FL connector. You can see it's got this interesting V. Some of them are tuned for certain frequencies, and some of them they don't have a label here. They're just for general 5.8 gigahertz. I think this is just not optimized, and then I think these here are hand tuned. Anyway, I'm going to do a review video in more detail. You can see that those have micro FL connectors. These are just direct solder on if you want to replace a linear antenna, and then they also have ones with SMA connectors as well. Supposedly these are circularly polarized right hand, I believe, even though they have this sort of dipole configuration. Don't know much about antennas, but we're going to be testing them out and we'll see how they do.